Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going voiceover mode because I don't feel like being on camera. So I did these pieces, plural, a couple of days ago, and it was one of those days where I was just like a little black cloud again and nothing was working, even though I started off really hopeful and I mean, it is what it is. But now looking at the drawings, I'm really happy with how the peaches turned out in both of them. I was just struggling with the little fairy sprite character a lot, as you will see, and if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my rant about it already. So this video is gonna be kind of cool for you guys to see because I used several different Copic techniques. Right now you can see me just sort of layering darks and then lighter colors on top, and then on the next one I will also do something with tissue and just working with the ink directly from the refill bottles. So yeah, there's like a lot of little things and tips and tricks you can pick up from this video if you're paying attention. But yeah, so what can I say about this piece? It's April Colors, the challenge by Miranda Zimmerman, aka FaunWood, which I always leave the link down below in the description if you guys want to go see what she's about and go to her website and find out all the information about the challenge. It's all in the box underneath. But I'll explain today's theme. It was Day 8's theme was Analogous color scheme, which means colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So for instance, in this case, it was like red, pink, and orange, and they added the little bit of yellow in it. But those are the colors that are next. So like green, light blue, and dark blue are analogous. So, or dark blue, purple, and red, or like a magenta, are analogous. So the first thought that came to my mind was peaches, because they have that color scheme on their own in nature, and I didn't have to come up with anything new. Or I really like complementary or triadic color schemes, and I hardly ever work with analogous color schemes, so this in itself was a challenge for me. But since I thought, you know, I like peaches, let's go for it, so I did. And I just jumped in. I didn't do any preliminary sketches anywhere. I was just like, I'm just gonna go and start doing this. I looked up a couple of pictures of peaches to make sure I got the tone right. But other than that, it's all from imagination, which is something that if you follow me on my artistic journey, it's something that I quite struggle with and I want to improve at, is working from imagination. And I know, yes, it's overrated, blah blah blah, like to each their own, nothing's original anyways. References are a very useful tool when you're learning. But I feel like at this point in my artistic career, I should be able to draw at least a couple of things from imagination. I should be able to build my symbolic library in my head to make drawing easier for myself, if that makes any sense. So see, as you can see now, I'm just dropping the ink straight onto the paper, and since I work at an incline because of my neck, it's kind of sliding down. I'm sorry that that kind of cut out a little bit. I had to pull it down closer to me. Oh, and the trick I found to working with this Koh-I-Noir paper and not have that black paper divider seep through is to have 2 layers of paper on top of that. So that gives me a buffer layer for doing things like this, because I tried just the droop technique to see if I could get the right colors beforehand, and the black paper immediately showed through. So I was really upset, and I was like, this is a great idea, but it's poorly executed. Alas, I guess I'll just have to run or go through this paper faster, because like there's always gonna be a buffer sheet underneath it that's gonna have some shades of, it's gonna seep through to the next page. If it had been like a white instead of a black sheet between the papers, like a white just hard cardboard, it would have been so much better. So people at Koh-I-Noir, if you're listening to me, like, let me send my vibrational thoughts to you. Like, think about these things next time, like, because the dye used for the black coating on that paper comes through. So this isn't, it's not perfect, okay? But I'm getting used to the paper itself, so I'm starting to like it. I think it was Mab Graves who was talking about how she uses Yupo paper and how it was really frustrating because she had to figure out how to use it, and just because she's stubborn, she kept working at it, and now it's the only thing that she uses. That's how I feel about this paper. It's like I really want to like it, so I'm kind of forcing this friendship. Do you know what I mean? Like I made it like a friendship bracelet and everything already before we got to know each other better. So we'll see. That was a horrible metaphor. But there you go. I am horrible at metaphors. So you're welcome. Yeah. So I decided to add a little pop of that yellow-green onto this drawing because I can't just not have a pop of color. Like, I'm sorry, I know it's not part of the challenge, but I wanted to, and I'm an adult, and I do what I want, so yeah, sorry if I'm extra sassy today. My head hurts, and I'm crabby again, so, well, we all have those days, right? And it's coming up to the part now where I royally mess up this fairy's face. Like, this could have been done. Like, I really like these speeches. It could have been done, but I decided to go back in with my Pentel brush pen. Here it comes. And I mess up her face. Like, so far so good, right? You guys are with me. And I mean, I didn't like her boobs, to be honest, either. Like, they'd look weird at this angle, whatever. But I will zoom in so that you can see what happened. It's fine. Then I noticed her eyes were a little bit crooked, and then I tried to line them underneath, and then I was like, oh, that made it worse. And then I'm like, what do I do? what do I do now? So I try to make it darker, and then it's like, nope. So then I just blacked out her eyes. Just was like, when in doubt, black it out. Doesn't work if you're working mostly in color. And that stood out so much. And I actually like stopped drawing for a second to just sulk and just like rest my head on the desk and just be like, what the heck have I done? But even so, I try to save it by like lining the rest of the peaches. So at this point, I was just like, you know what, F it. Like, I'm gonna just practice my like long brush strokes with this pen. I'm gonna have to redo it anyways. Let's see how far I can push these lines. So I turned it into a learning opportunity, which I guess is a silver lining. And overall, like, I think I'm getting more confident with my Pentel Pocket brush pen again, which I haven't been using in a while. So there you go. Yeah, and then after this, you will see me redo it. And again, I will struggle with the little fairy, but I won't draw her in this pose because I wanted her butt to be toward us to begin with anyways. So that's what I did. So here you see me, I have a paper towel and I'm dropping ink onto the paper towel and then dabbing it onto the paper to create a smooth blend. This is a technique I picked up from a book I got in my Japan trip that I went on last year, and I thought that was genius. So I wanted to try it, and this is my first time trying it. And I like it. I think it was quite successful. I wanted to add these like pops of darker orange, but then as soon as I did, it wouldn't blend as well, so I was just like, oops, mistake. But I made it work. I really like the peaches in this piece better than the peaches in the first piece. So I guess I did improve between pieces, which is nice. And I did not sketch the peaches in this one beforehand. I just went with the abstract shapes with the dipping of the paper towel, and then found the peach shapes from that, which is also not normally how I work, but I like the result. Like, I was pleasantly surprised. See, this is the thing. And I know this is like a long-winded video, and I promise I'll shut up soon so that you can just like listen to the music or whatever. The first time I draw something, it works out. Like that strawberry fairy that I did, I love it. Like, I look at it now and I was like, oh yes, like, how did I do it? I don't know. I just went in blind and it turns out good because I'm working from a place of instinct and not a place of being in my head. And that always works for me. Like, that's why I don't do pieces in the same medium over and over again, because the first one is instinct, and then the other ones I'm trying to recreate what I did the first time. Does that make sense? It's like I will get a really good result right away. It's like when I go bowling, right? Like, I am horrible at bowling. Tim calls it binary bowling because I get ones and zeros the entire time. Like, I just get gutter balls or I'll hit the very edge pin. But the first time I throw the ball, every time I bowl, I get a strike. And then I spend the rest of the day trying to recreate that instead of just letting it be and just like saying, whatever, like, I'm gonna do this instead of aiming for the middle, right? So this is kind of like that. Like, that strawberry piece was the first fruit fairy piece that I did, and it was completely out of instinct, and I completely improvised all of it, and it turned out great. And then with this piece, I was trying to make a companion piece to that one, and so obviously I fell flat on my face and I failed miserably, at least with that first piece. And it is so frustrating because, like, I know I'm not the most consistent artist style-wise, and you know, I know that hurts my social media, whatever, that doesn't really matter, but like I wish I had like a style. I wish I had something that defines what I am and who I am as an artist, but I don't, and that's because I can never recreate things that I've done, and I don't know why. Like, I think I always just have to keep moving on, and that's why, like, in college, in art school, I got into trouble with my teachers because they always said that I was trying way too many different things and I was having way too many tools, and you know, they called it like a fishing gear, whatever, of just different things. And yeah, I did have like a rolling suitcase that I would take to class with like art materials, a small one, like a carry-on size. Like, don't get carried away with your imagination. I did not take like a full-size suitcase to class. It was just a carry-on size. But even though, that's still a lot for like an artist to be like, yes, what if I need one of my marker colors? And see, that pause, since this video is sped up like 8 times, that pause was really long of me just sitting there like, what am I doing? How do I draw? How is this little fairy supposed to be like? And I have no idea. I do like it now, looking back. I'm like happy, but in the moment I was sulking. Like, I lost my train of thought again. I'm sorry. But, well, we're almost at the end of the video anyways. So I guess I talked to you guys' ear off too much. Sorry if this was confusing. Do let me know in the comments what you think. I always value you guys' feedback. Do you prefer videos with voiceover, or do you prefer videos where there's just music and you can just enjoy looking at the art come to life on the page? Anyways, as always, like and subscribe, turn on the little bell button if you want to see videos that I post when I post them, and yep, my throat hurts now from talking too much, so I will catch you guys next time. Thanks again, you guys. Bye!